What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. So guys, with the Rolex market being the way it is, and with Rolex being the brand it is, it makes sense I get an overwhelming amount of questions about this company. Are the prices going up? Are the prices going down? Which ones should I be buying right now? And yeah, I've made a list today about the Rolexes you should be buying right now. And I get it, this might be a bit presumptuous because Baselworld 2020 is right around the corner, and regardless of what Rolex actually does during Baselworld, every time it comes around, you know, the market shifts and gets a little crazy and people freak out. Again, even if Rolex doesn't really do anything, kind of like Baselworld 2019. But regardless of that, okay, it's the beginning of 2020. We're in the second month, and I have a list of Rolexes you should be buying right now. It's 12:24 p.m. Let's get down to business. But guys, before we get into it, let's go ahead and look at the watch I'm wearing today. This is my Stalker & YALE Sandy 184 military watch, hand wind movement, just such a nice profile, a composite case, and tritium markings. This is such a badass, underrated little piece, but if you know, you know. And yeah, it's just a great everyday watch that I enjoy wearing. But let's talk about Rolexes. So guys, the first Rolex I think you should be paying attention to is the Rolex Air King 116900. Now, this watch, when it was initially announced, it was like hated across the board, but as time goes by, people, you know, start really liking it, or they start hating it even more. But either way, it becomes kind of a cult icon, and that alone is enough to make you really think, maybe this is something I should be paying attention to. Because guys, the watches that Rolex releases that are initially kind of underrated, those are the ones that become very, very desirable in the future. So if you're thinking about getting this watch, maybe you were one of the people that really did enjoy it, I'd get it now, because you're going to start seeing an increase in popularity on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube even, and yeah, before prices really elevate, I would get this watch. And the next Rolex you should be buying right now is the Rolex Explorer 14270 36mm. So guys, let's face it, the 39mm Explorer just wears too large on the wrist for the watch it is, and with the prices going, you know, over $8,000 for the 39mm variant, it's kind of silly, you know, when you consider that the 36mm wears much nicer on the wrist. It feels like a proper oyster cased field watch, and you can get it for like under $5,000 all day long with some smart shopping. Yeah, no brainer for me. But guys, guess what? When people start realizing the 39mm Explorer is not the one to get, they're all going to scoop up the 36mm. And yeah, that means the prices are going to increase above $5,000. So guys, if you want one now where it's below $5,000, get it now. Okay, on to one of my favorites, the Rolex Explorer 2 16570. Now I know what you're thinking, hey, Time Teller, didn't you pick one up around 2018? And that's right, I did, and I was very, very happy I did, because 2018 was kind of the last year you were able to get an Explorer 2 16570 polar dial for a reasonable price. In 2019, that was kind of the watch to get. That was very hyped up. A lot of other people started picking up the polar dial variant, that beautiful 40mm case, bright white dial with the red GMT hand. That is the proper Explorer 2, none of this 42mm BS. Well, guess what? Some good news, okay? So we may never see the polar dials back at that 2018 price point. They are steadily climbing above $7,000, but the black dial variant, okay, we can still find these for, you know, under $7,000 with some smart shopping, and you're still getting that beautiful oyster case, a black dial with the red GMT hand, and again, it wears properly at 40mm. And yeah, I think that the prices are going to increase soon enough once people realize, hey, you know, the white dial's kind of over it. What about that black dial? So yeah, if you're thinking about getting a 16570 and the white dial was not your thing, jump over to the black dial. All right, the next Rolex you should be purchasing right now is the Rolex GMT-MASTERS 2 16713. Now guys, this is such an underrated Rolex. I can't believe it. I mean, seriously, can you find an automatic GMT two-toned Rolex for under $10,000 these days? Yes, you can with this reference number, but no one's paying attention to it. Why? Guys, seriously, regardless of whatever happens at Baselworld 2020, get this Rolex because the prices are only going up with this one. And last but not least, a very controversial pick for today's list, the Rolex Oyster Quartz 1703, and I know quartz watches don't have a soul, but how can you overlook the fact that this is such a cult icon? I mean, Rolex has not made very many quartz watches. This is one of them. This is such a perfect snapshot of the time, the quartz crisis, Rolex releasing a quartz watch to compete with all these other companies that are doing the same thing. Yeah, it looks pretty funky. It looks a bit different when you compare it to other Datejusts, but it's such an interesting piece of Rolex's history. I would wear one all day long. I think it looks super funky and super cool. And the best part, you can find them under $4,000. So guys, there you have it. 5 Rolexes I think you should be getting right now, February 2020. Jump on them before the prices increase and people freak out about Baselworld. What is Rolex doing? They're gonna get rid of the Submariner. No, they're not. But guys, if you agreed with me, if you disagreed with me, if you want to make your own list, then please, leave that like, leave that comment. We'll talk about it in the comment section. And there's a whole bunch of ways to support the channel, but the easiest one is just to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the content we make here. And yeah, guys, I just want to thank you for watching the content. We just broke past 86,000 subscribers. Thank you. So guys, check the affiliate links in the description below. That will take you to my Amazon store and it helps me out a bunch. And check my website, www.thetimetellershop.com. That is the #1 place to buy affordable vintage luxury watches serviced with a 1-year warranty, all hand-picked by the time teller himself. That's right, I call myself the time teller. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you so much for supporting the channel. Special thanks to my certified T3 bots, my channel members. How do you join the channel? Well, right next to the subscribe button, there should be a join button. It's kind of like YouTube's Patreon. All the support really does help the channel. It allows us to make all the content and everything we do here. And yeah, guys, you get to join the private members only Discord chat group. It's like a fun 24/7 forum, a great way to interact with me at all times of day. There's a bunch of knuckleheads there just joking around all the time. You get first dibs on all new inventory at the T3 shop. You get weekly coupons for the T3 shop, and you get a private members only live stream once a week where you guys get to choose the topic. So it's a whole bunch of fun, guys. Just join the channel and you help us out a bunch. But please, guys, like, comment, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. Always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.